Anyway, let's move on to the next topic, which is one you sent over, Paulie, which is actually about Batgirl. So we've got two things to say here
More
about Batgirl.
DC.
So yeah, it is more DC. This is interesting. So this was the one you sent, and then we'll get on to something which I sort of found after the fact. But do you want to lead off with this one, Paulie, or do you want me to? I don't know how you want to do this one.
Yeah. I mean, I can't read that, but I can bring it up on my own.
Yeah. Bring it up, and I'll sort of just put it around on this as well. That's
okay, give me a
fine.
second, guys.
I'll give you 2 seconds, Paulie. I'll give you 2 seconds.
Okay, here we go. Axed Batgirl movie featured so many action scenes of Brendan Fraser and Leslie Grace beating each other up. While an overhauled DC universe is now here from new studio bosses James Gunn and Peter Safran, many comic book movie fans are still mourning the loss of the old regime's Batgirl. I don't know if that's true. The project from directors Abari and Falah, excuse me, I'm not going to mention that, mispronunciate, was intended to be an HBO Max original, but was axed in post-production in part of what Warner Brothers Discovery could take a tax write-off on it. Batgirl will never see the light of day, but any information about the completely filmed superhero movie continues to trickle out. Leslie Grace, who played the how do you say that? I don't know how to say that.
Leslie Grace, who played the eponymous hero.
Thank you. Hero recently told Collider that she filmed numerous action scenes opposite Brendan Fraser, who starred as the villainous Firefly. You guys have any comments there?
Well, so we'll get to some of the other elements of that in a minute in the other topic, because again they've sort of come out and further established some bits and pieces. But let's just talk about this as an as a thought experiment for what they're trying to present here, I guess.
Yeah.
But I will say, just as an FYI, it's always endearing to see Brendan Fraser now coming back into Hollywood. I say that every time we talk about it. It's good to see him back. It's good to see him. It's good. It's good to see him. He deserves it. He's one of those people, Hollywood good guy. So
I'm curious if Brendan wins the Academy Award. Obviously, it's a full comeback already. If he wins the Academy Award, there's a master of this somewhere, right, Tom? They didn't just dissolve this.
They made sure it was off the hard drives before anybody could get to it. Remember, so the only master that exists. Okay, yeah, because the directors said they tried to get it off the hard drive.
Yeah,
and they said it was gone.
People were defending them for that, and I was like, no, they were trying to steal something.
They were trying to
steal
paid.
That's not okay. Like. That's you don't.
No, my guess is that it was pulled off the hard drive, and any masters of this that exist are sitting in some lawyer's vault somewhere. Or
okay, so whatever. Let's say they exist, and let's say Brennan has.
Well, they do exist, yeah.
Okay, so he has some sort of like crazy renaissance. He's beloved. Did they roll this stuff out in a couple years?
No,
they're not legally allowed to.
No, I think that's part of the write down. Is that's one of the reasons why they made sure that they made sure that it was probably taken off so nobody could leak it out, because if it got leaked out, that probably would compromise them writing it off. And that's kind of what Mikey, I think, had said too in so many words. So I would assume that's the case. So again, now that isn't to say in 5-10 years from now somebody won't leak it out in some way, shape, or form, but I don't think we'll ever get an official release of this at any time soon.
No.
And Safran even had a reason for why it got killed too.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Okay. I truly had one of the best experiences with Batgirl, Grace said. In terms of the experience of shooting, we were also excited for people to see a lot of the action, a lot of the practical shots we did with fire. Our movie was full of practical fire, which was really hard to shoot.
Why say fire so much and practical?
I know. Brandon was our villain, our Firefly. He was just so outstanding. I feel so blessed to have him as my sparring partner. We had so many amazing action scenes together where we were just beating each other up, but hugging in between takes because he's just so sweet.
Okay.
That's tickled me. I don't know why.
Yeah.
She could have said it was fire. Yeah.
Yeah. What a right, keep going, Paulie.
Grace continued, I would have loved people to seen those moments. But you know what? You have the experience and you keep on rolling. I feel so blessed. All in all, that I have those memories, and hopefully maybe in some future, some clips will arise and people will get to enjoy a little bit of it. But for now, we'll just keep on going as it is, as it going. Wait, but we'll just have to keep it going as it going in comic folklore, I guess, with all our memories and all our stories while we can.
All right. I mean,
I think everything else is kind of regurgitated from the past year.
yeah. Look, I mean, we are getting some clips released, and they're not very good. There was one floating around on Twitter not too long ago where she's like running around a corner, and it was the most awkward sequence. Have you seen that one? I can't find it now, but it was the most awkward sequence ever. God damn, it was bad. Like, I know you like Leslie Grace.
Yes, I do.
I'm not ragging on her. That was her direction.
It was not a very athletic run. I will give you that.
It was far from athletic.
Far from athletic.
It's like Brendan Fraser in The Whale trying to run. All right.
I would hope that it was kind of one of those, like, I know we're not really shooting. They just need me to mark kind of runs, which happens all the time.
I heard action. So.
Oh, did you?
Fire.
No, I retract my last statement. Fire.
Oh, goodness me.
I will say, I will say, and I've said this before. I mean, you put so much of your life, let's say she put a year and all that stuff into her into this job. She got paid, which is good. She's going forward, but that's still got to be like that's always going to be with her. It's always going to be part of her career. Is that this
you know what? I think this will benefit her career, if anything, because everyone came out defending her. Everyone came out, again, this is unprecedented. Oh my God. I think this would benefit her career more than it will hinder it. It'll be one of those weird opportunities where it boosts her. I reckon it would genuinely boost her career more than it will damage it.
I agree. And she's handled it with class, which you can't say about a lot of actors when they face adversity or even something like this. She didn't blame anyone. She wouldn't blame any systemic something. I don't know what. They could have easily made. I know some of her fans in the Latino community, in the Latino media, tried to do that.
They were really pushing hard for that.
Yeah, going hard against Zaslav and kind of making this something that it wasn't. I will tell you, I have been invited to the Blue Beetle premiere. And I'm going to have full disclosure and all that good stuff with you guys as time goes along. But it is from a new friend that's working there. Well, new friend to me, but that has been working there in Warner for a minute. And we had some deep combos. What's that?
Are they Latin?
Yes. Working behind the scenes financial departments. It's very interesting.
Interesting.
Very interesting talk. I was totally surprised because I met him, just as a friend of a friend, and I was like, "What? Will you do what?" And it was fascinating, and we really didn't get to. I didn't get to
mention anything about Batgirl then.
I didn't get to ask about what was I asking. We were talking a lot about Blue Beetle. We're talking about why stuff was axed and what wasn't. We talked about another non-comic book show that got axed, so it was very interesting. And I am going to have him on in the next couple of months.
Well, if you ask him, it'd be cool to get the lowdown on what they think happened with Batgirl.
Yeah, I will say really quick. I will say he is now an independent film director. That's how I met him. And Romy was the lead in his film. Is the lead in his film. They They just completed it, and it's a fantastic comedy. So, we're gonna, talk about that, and then we'll kind of go over what I can and can't ask.
Yeah,
but that's fair. That's fair.
The lowdown on it anyway.
Yeah, I don't want to, we're not trying to get anyone in trouble, but it's like, hey, what can you tell us? What can you talk to us about?
Yeah.
Leslie, this whole Leslie Grace and Batgirl thing. Because there was some interesting insight he had.